Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Madison, stay tuned. All the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Massive, stay tuned.
When you're busy, a booty side, it's not your time. Deal with that. When you're busy, a booty side, it's not your time. Deal with that. Nadhani bila vya tuwezi ishi. No splash, tutaishi fiti. Tutakusahau kama kamisi. Na memory tutoe kwa akili. Una behave ni kawe tuko na option. Pia sisi, hii ni caution. Kasi uruma singekuwa na wewe. Usipo change itabidi.
Shout out to Bobby, I see you.
Last chance.
John Dracluz, I see you.
Last chance tuliacha last year. Yo ndio falamista kisikia. Usipo change kanyanga. When niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Deal with that. When niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Deal with that. We decide, kauta change, it's not your time. Deal with that. When niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Unanipet, utaniacha, si niache, unatupet, utaacha kazi, si uache, unadhani tunajali. Ujinga ni kudhani bila wewe, hatutasonga, tunasonga. Ujinga ni kudhani bila wewe, hatutaomoka, tunaomoka. Wewe ni dam, you're so damn, hii dunia si yako pekee, you're so damn, utashtuka kama unangoja nikufuate, usipo change kila mtu njia yake. When a booty side, it's not your time. Deal with that. When you're here, decide. Culture change, it's not your time. Deal with that. When you're here, a booty side, it's not your time.
At you decide. But anyway, karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary Show. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and also I hope your Monday afternoon or whatever the time is on your end is going on great. Karibuni sana once again. My name is Katie, in case you're joining us for the first time. And remember, this is the Black House Network media of the 21st century. And of course, this is the African Diary Show. This is a show where we get to talk about African people, the day-to-day life activities of the African people, and whatever is happening in Africa. And as per now, we have a lot of things happening in Africa. I know so many of you know about the Niger coup, so many of you know about the Gabon coup, but right now we also have Eritreans being told to leave Israel. So we shall be talking about that. We shall be focusing our conversation on that. And also we shall get to see what is happening, what has happened during the weekend. I know most of us during the weekend are off social media. Most of us are off even the news site. So we don't get to know what is happening during the weekend. But anyway, karibuni sana. I see John in the building. I also see somebody else in the building. Who is this? I see SBE in the building. Karibu sana SBE. And also to all those who are with me on the radio station, to all those who are with me on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Karibuni sana. I hope you're looking forward to having an amazing show with me. And also remember, you can get to interact with us right here. Do let us know how your day is coming along. Do let us know how your weekend was. And also remember, we have an active WhatsApp number in case you'd love to call in. Our WhatsApp number is +254 705 428 388 +254 705 428 388 is our WhatsApp number. Also, you can follow us, or rather you can go visit our pages or our social walls, Instagram at Blackout Fire Network, Twitter Blackout Fire Network, everywhere at Blackout Fire Network. In case you'd love to listen to us via the radio station, you just go to Google Play Store, download the Blackout Fire Network application, and that is our radio app. Immediately you just switch it on, it works perfectly. But I see Abdizi in the building. Karibu sana. I also see somebody here is saying show mambo mbaya. Karibu sana, and thank you very much. Kingston, I see you in the building. Karibu sana, Kingston. And to everybody who is just joining us, we started off our show with an amazing jam. We decided, done by Major Manze. We decide whatever you want with your life, you get to decide. But I see Sister Michelle in the building. Karibu sana, Sister Michelle. And to everybody who is there with us, kindly make sure you keep it interactive with me. We are going back to one more jump. We shall be back with our quote of the day. In case you have a quote of the day you'd love to share with us, kindly make sure you keep it coming. Let's go back to one more jump and make sure you come back with a quote of the day.
Link ridiculous them, seconds to Trinidad. Pick up the whole of them. Come on, they don't know I did anything I do. Headline news, if you waiting I no do, they go say I do. Nothing but the truth, when I step up in the booth. No lie, my life, no be smarting. Remember last Christmas, Santa Claus gave me the glizzy with the switch dart. So some people never see this Christmas. And them across most of them not even Christians. Click bang, but they sinking at the quicksand. See them full of them like Afghanistan. And if you make like me know the enemy, them a play, and me know they not sorry for me. People are ball and a speak, and we bad than we mean. Bloody crime scene calamity. I saw we shoot out and figure Canada G. Make them have a experience, no gravity.
My quote of the day, since today is on a Monday, I wanted to start the week with positivity. So my quote of the day says, your positive action combined with a positive thinking results into success.
When I dead dog, violate people are dead dog. Should I keep in your bed, cause Taliban's them a make work. When I laugh up, when I dead dog, badness is where we end us. When I shoot people, we end up in a red cross. No Taliban's like them, we are sure guns. We couldn't sleep at your yard in a 4 months. And so we make people a more down. Like gala get fucked down a whole house. Laugh bars for that year that we sure about. And if you see me trouble with an 9X, and none of politics.
Greetings and salutations, Massive News Anchor Robinson, all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Massive.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you are already enjoying our show, or rather, you are looking forward to enjoy our show for today. Karibu sana Brantinito. I see you in the building. Thank you very much for joining us. Frank Salia, I see you as well. Karibu sana. So as we get started with our conversation of the day, I said today we shall major on what is happening in Israel, because as I've seen that Netanyahu, it is not Neta. I'm used to saying Netanyahu, but it is a Netanyahu. Netanyahu is calling for deportation of all refugees of all Eritrean refugees in Israel. And I've been wondering, so Africans are refugee in their fellow African country, and this doesn't sound right. Like it is your people fighting against you. But remember, Israel has been occupied by some weird people. These are white people, and this is why we have all of this happening. But it is just crazy what Eritreans are facing right now in that country, because yesterday there was there were riots on the roads in the streets of Israel, and people were actually fighting. People were fighting. It was not lovely, and these were Eritreans who were demonstrating. And why were they demonstrating? We are here to find out, because why are you telling me to leave an African country and calling me a foreigner, a refugee? It doesn't make sense that we can be refugees in our own continent. And the people who are telling you to leave are actually white people. These people don't belong here in Africa. But this is what is happening, and it is just crazy that now they don't want African people in Israel, while this used to be an African place. This used to be African land, But a large number of Eritreans, some supporting the country's government and others opposing it, have fought on the streets of Israel. Yes, people are fighting there. They are fighting for their lives, and also they don't want to leave Israel, so they are being forced. They are being deported by force. And when somebody uses force on you, of course you're gonna go crazy. So this is what is happening. And it is just crazy that now Netanyahu is even calling for deportation by force. And they are actually calling these people rioters. They are calling Eritrean people rioters. They are not even calling them refugees normal. They are calling them rioters. But more than 100 people, including several dozen police officers, were injured during fighting, but no deaths were reported. That was yesterday. And so who are the Eritreans in Israel? Why did they fight? And what does Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have planned for them? And those thousands of Eritreans have arrived in Israel, many fleeing harsh conditions in their home country. Eritrea has been under the rule of President Isaias Afwerki for more than 30 years after the former partisan led his forces to a victory that ended the 30-year-old war for independence from the neighboring Ethiopia. The 37-year-old has never held elections. The 77, has never held elections or formed a parliament or independent judiciary. He has banned political parties and ranked as one of the worst leaders in the world in terms of freedom, expression, and press freedom. And this is why now we have Eritreans who are looking for justice. And now they are being told, we will deport you. If you don't keep quiet, we're going to deport you. And this is what is going to happen to these Eritreans. And why, I keep on telling my people, African people, I know Israel is supposed to be our country. It is supposed to be in Africa. It is supposed to be African. But right now, since they overtook that and made it theirs, and also now made it not an African country totally, this is not the time as African people we should be running to that side. You already know that these people hate you. They hate you. And this is why they made sure that Israel is now no longer in Africa, but we know the truth. But right now, you're going to run to there where you know you're hated. Why are you always running to a place where you know these people are not going to welcome me? One, they will be very angry to see me. Yes, they will be very angry to see you in that country because they don't want you. They hate you totally, completely. These people hate you. So why are you risking your life going to a place where you know you're not loved? You're not even welcomed. You're just risking, instead of staying in Africa where we know you are our brother, where we know you are loved, or where you can go to any other African country like Tanzania, like Uganda, and stay there. But Africans, I think we are known to force issues because we cannot force the Europeans to love us. They will never love us. Actually, these people hate us with everything they have. So you cannot force them to love you. Yes, they took that country. It's okay. But we have the best countries right here. So if you feel like you want to run, just run to another country like maybe Uganda, Ethiopia, because running to such countries, you will face a lot of criticism. You will face a lot of stigmatization because these people are like, no, we don't want this person. You'll face a lot of racism and also hatred. They won't love you. They won't even show you their teeth. They'll just hate you. But anyway, let's continue with this article. The 77-year-old has never held elections, and we're talking about a person who is a dictator, a person who even banned political parties and only left his own. He never elected or formed a parliament. You're talking about a person who is a dictator, a person who is not a leader, a person who feels like the country is his own. And then you risk your ass going to that country while you know they have the worst leadership than even the African puppets we see right here in Africa. I mean, our Ruto is better, but I'm not saying Ruto is good. I mean, our Ruto is better than going to this person. I see somebody is saying a person like a Rigiji. Rigiji hata ajuange kenye ina happen kwa serikali. It's like he's just there without his mind. He's just the deputy president of a country by name because even the things we see him talking, zingine ni kuropoka tu. You see this man, he comes with so many weird speeches. You're like, sasa imetoka wapi? He's always talking crazy things. But anyway, as we continue, I was talking about now the president of Israel will be ever loved by these white people. And I'm saying we force issues a lot. We know they don't love us, and we are forcing to go to a country where we know they are ruling. They own it because we know this was African land long time ago, but they overtook it and owned it. But right now you want to force yourself to that place. It is just crazy. A person who even oppresses his own people, you think he'll ever treat the black people right? You are insane to be thinking that. But I say the president also enforces a strict mandatory military service and a forced labor system. Imagine, this person takes advantage of his own people, but you as an African man, you as an African woman, you think that you are going there for greener pastures. It doesn't make sense. You're thinking that you're going there for greener pastures. Well, the people of that country are still struggling. They are still facing a lot of hatred by their own leader, a lot of exploitation by their own president. And you as an African person, you really want to run to that place. For me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all to these people, to these Africans who are fleeing to such countries. You see how they their governments are ran. But you still want to go there. We're talking about forced labor. A president who forces his people to work under poor environments without pay, or maybe with less pay. But you, as an African people, you still want to run there, saying that you're going for greener pastures, saying that you're escaping the harsh conditions we have in Africa. It is just crazy. It is crazy. But the president also enforces a strict mandatory military service and a forced labor system, which has prompted many Eritreans to flee over the decades, some joining other African refugees who have traveled to Israel. Imagine you are going there for greener pastures. When you get there, they are waiting for you to be their donkey. You become their donkey. You are a refugee? Okay. We will subject you to this harsh work, this tiresome work, and you'll have to do it. You're a refugee in my country. Imagine this is what happened. And then people are still fleeing to that country. For that country, how can't Africans do? For me, it doesn't make sense. I really wonder, what is the greener pastures are you saying? What greener pastures are you talking about? Because we're not even seeing greener pastures over there, where people are subjected to forced labor. Just because you're a foreigner, you're a refugee, you become their donkey. They are waiting for you there. Okay, you've come to Israeli. Okay, we're waiting for you to become our donkey right here. This is what happens in that country. But still, people want to run to that country. My African people, we better wake up and see this. You're saying you're running to a better, or rather to a greener pasture, and then you get there, you'll be doomed. You'll be doomed. And I'm wondering all the time, these things are always on the news sites. These things, we're seeing them even on the internet. They are all over. But how comes you, as an African person, you don't see this, and you still want to go to the same place where these things are happening? It is just crazy. It is very, very crazy. But about 25,000 African refugees are believed to be living in Israel, most of whom from Sudan and Eritrea. But Israel recognizes very limited numbers of legitimate asylum seekers, seeing them as mostly economic migrants who must leave. Okay? They're still showing you they don't want you there, but you still want to force your ass to them. You still want to show them that now I can come by chest. And they are telling you we don't want you here. But you want to show them you can go there by chest. African people, we better wake up, see the hatred, and learn on ourselves, work on ourselves, work on our countries. But I see the fighting broke out on Sunday, that was yesterday, when the Eritrean embassy in Israel held an event to mark 30 years since independence. Critics of the Afwerki government saw it as a brazen attempt to celebrate a dictator's rule, so they approached the venue in hundreds. And very true. What are you celebrating? What independence? The person you're calling the president is a dictator. So I'm wondering, he was calling people to go and celebrate dictatorship. So people went there. They went there in huge numbers. They went there in large numbers. They reportedly broke through police barriers as officers appeared and prepared for such large numbers. The videos showed smashed windows of police and other cars, as well as damage to nearby stores. The venue was also vandalized, with the chairs and tables smashed. And I mean, this is what we need to do as African people. I mean, Everywhere, people are tired. People are tired. Now, these are Eritreans waking up, but they are not waking up in their country. Go do the same in your country. Stop doing this in a foreign country. You'll be killed, and you know. But my people, you're waking up at the wrong place. Yes, you have seen how this person has been oppressing you, but that is not your country. I know it was once African, but right now, do we own it? No. Do we control it? No. They took fully control of it, and right now it is operated by these white people. So we need to wake up, see this as African people, and just leave that country and go back to our countries where we have all the entitlement to do whatever we want, to overthrow the government, because this is what we need to do. Yes, African people, you're waking up, but these ones who are waking up in Israel, you're waking up in the wrong place. Yes, you are waking up in the wrong place. But my people, kindly interact with me and do let me know what you think about that as we continue with our show for today, because I know this is affecting a lot of Africans, not only the Eritreans who are there, but Eritreans who are at the event in support of the Afweki government brawled with the protesters. Footage online showed supporters beating protesters with clubs and throwing stones. No more dictator. Protesters were saying, chanting in videos on social media. Why did we run from our country? That is a persona or an Eritrean person asking. Because of this dictator. Why are they celebrating here today? Why did the Israeli police give them a permit to celebrate for this dictator? One protester asked all that. Israeli police chased away the crowd using tear gas, stun grenades, and live rounds. Some photos showed officers on horseback. But what is Netanyahu's plan at the plan? What is his plan? You know, we keep on saying a good plan, a bad plan, they are all plans. But what is the plan of Netanyahu's plan? What is the Netanyahu's plan on these people? So the Israeli Prime Minister swiftly condemned the incident and thanked police officers for cracking down on the crowds. Just like we see in Kenya, the police are called to beat up demonstrators, and then the cabinet secretaries of the government are here congratulating them. You did a good job. And unlike what happened in Israel, our people die a lot right here in Africa. They die a lot because now our police come with live bullets. They shoot at everyone, you know. He convened a special ministerial team on Sunday to evaluate ways to handle illegal infiltrators who violate the law and constitute a threat to the future of Israel as Jewish and a democratic state. You guys, tell me, now they are trying to make it to tell us that Israel is democratic with the people being subjected to forced labor? Oh no, this is just insane. It is just insane. But the premier told the meeting his plan to build a fence on the country's border with Egypt a decade ago to stop flow of African refugees had worked. And he slammed the Supreme Court for blocking a number of his other proposals to force out asylum seekers who managed to enter before the fence was erected. As he praised the decision to ignore United Nations plan that would give 16,000 asylum seekers citizenship, he said Sunday's event crossed a red line and announced his intention to expel all African migrants. Why is the topic always Africans? You guys, you should realize how many, or rather how these people hate us. We have so many enemies, my guys. They don't want to see us, and you're still forcing yourself to them. You know, these people hate us. They already told you that that country is Jewish. They don't want to see black people anywhere, but you still want to force yourself. And now you still want to complain that you're being forced to work, to overwork. You know how insane that sounds? Man, Africans, we better learn to stay in our countries. We better learn to fix our problems right here in Africa, because we cannot be facing hatred and we know we have somewhere we loved. We cannot be facing racism just because we were looking for greener pastures somewhere. And this is, there's no greener pastures over there. You're being sure we don't love you. You need to go. You need to go. We don't love you. But lately is that Israel's Netanyahu has called for deportation of Eritrean refugees, and he actually called them rioters. And Benjamin Netanyahu has said he wants Eritrean refugees and migrants involved in a violent clash in Tel Aviv to be deported immediately, and has ordered a plan to remove all of the country's African migrants. African migrants. Africans, you're not loved anywhere. They don't want to see you. African migrants. You saw the UK paying the Tunisians money just to kill you so that you don't enter the European country. After that, they built a floating prison for you in case you manage to cross there. But you still want to force yourself into that country. What is wrong with Africans, though? We need to realize that we have the best place in Africa. The greener pastures we're looking for. We can look for it in Tanzania, in Uganda. Of us are going to be killed. How many of us are going to face a lot of bad things over there to realize that these people don't love us, to realize the hatred we're subjected to? You know, African people, we better wake up and realize all this. Yes, we are hated everywhere. They don't want to see us. So why don't you stay where you're loved? Why don't you stay in your home country or in your home continent where everybody loves you? Why? So you're risking to go and get killed in some foreign country, in some European country, where they told you they don't want you here. They are even being specific, African migrants. But in case you come from other countries, continents, you're very welcome in that country. But now, since you are African, they don't want to see your black ass there, but you still want to force it there. But shout out to Odele, I see you in the building. Hello to you too, Karibu Sana. You're saying, I stay where I'm loved with you. Karibu Sana, and thank you very much for joining us. I also see somebody else in the building. Joe Karis, Karibu Sana. Ayodi Isigi, I see in the building. Karibu Sana. And kindly contribute to my topic of the day. We are talking about Netanyahu. Netanyahu is the prime minister of Israel. He called for deportation of all African migrants. And I'm saying, African people, we have forced ourselves to the Europeans so much. And we are being shown that they don't love us. They show this to us every time. They keep on telling you, we don't want to see you here, but you still want to go there. You still want to go there, where they don't want to see you. Man, we have a problem. And I think the only problem we have as African people is that we don't realize our worth as African people. Why am I saying this? Because we don't know that these people can't live without Africa. We don't know that. Of course, nobody taught you that in school. Nobody taught you that. Nobody taught you that the only place we have all minerals and the only rich continent on this world is Africa. And this is why they don't love us. This is why they subject us to hatred. Because they know we are worth everything. You know, they just don't love you, African people. You better see this. Stop going to those Arabic countries. Stop going to these Jewish countries. Stop going to anywhere that is owned by white people. Just stay in Africa, man. I'm so tired of seeing my people facing racism, hatred, stigmatization, but just because they are black and African. You know, nobody loves you just because you're African. Why can't you stay where you're loved? Why? Does it hurt to be in Africa? But Joe Caris is saying we go out there to look for what we don't have. Are you sure we don't have that in Africa? Probably we don't have employment in Africa. Probably you go there to look for what you don't have. But imagine we could have what we want, or rather what you're going to look for in those countries. We could have it right here in Africa. And what needs to be done so that we have it? One, we need to overthrow these school leaders, these puppets, because they are the ones keeping us in conditions where we don't have whatever we are going to look for there. Most of us go to those countries to look for employment. And very true, we don't have employment in our countries. We have the workest type of education in Africa. So many Africans run there maybe to go to school. Some of the Africans go there because of the education. But imagine we can bring all that to Africa. And how do we do it? We overthrow the puppets, because they are the reason we are where we are today. They are the reason we still have slums in Africa today. They are the reason we still have people living in poverty today. People who can't afford a meal today. They are the reason. And if you want to bring what we don't have to Africa, you must work with those puppets. You must deal with them first. People like Ruto. What is Ruto doing right now? And we have an African climate summit in Kenya. Did you know what I realized today in the morning? Kenyan people were barred from entering that summit. Can you imagine? African people, they had even requested, they had applied to be in that summit, but Kenyan people were barred. Not one person, not two people, more than 100 people were barred. Watu waliamka asubuhi mapema. They woke up very early in the morning. They went there, they queued for hours, but they were told your names are not on the list of these climate summit attenders. Can you imagine? And the summit is in your country. I know it is a goofy summit, of course, but it is in your country. It is talking about you and your people. But now you cannot go there because you're not on the list. While Indians are coming from India to talk about that summit, the Chinese are coming from China to attend that summit. But you as a Kenyan, the one who is hosting, the one who owns this place they are holding the summit, cannot get into the summit. You know how insane that sounds? Of course it is crazy. I even want to know who are these now Kenyans that were invited to the summit, because if I cannot go to the summit as a Kenyan, who are these people that were invited to the summit? And this is, okay, we shall see this and wait for it. You will spot a lot of Chinese, a lot of Wazungus, a lot of these white people. But your Kenyans, the people, they are talking about Kenya and the climate changes doing those lies, but you're not even supposed to go and listen to it as a Kenyan. You know, I feel Kenyan should be the first priority. Every Kenyan that wanted to be in that summit should be the first priority. Before the others, the foreigners, the guests comes, Kenyans should be allowed to be in that summit. It is just crazy. And this nonsense has to stop. This is what I'm saying. We need to overthrow these puppets. We need to overthrow them because they are even showing you we don't prioritize you than we prioritize the Europeans, the Chinese. You know, we need to do that as African people. But I see Sister Michelle is in the building. Karibu sana. Jeno Mosquito, karibu sana. And thank you very much for joining us. I see Derek Mugo. I see Beatrice Mugo. I see Odele. And Odele, what's funny? What's funny? Tell me, what is funny? Because I feel like watu wametuzoea sana. Ati we have electric cars. Can you imagine how expensive it is to charge that car? My guys, mnadanganywa sana. We're being taught they are bringing an eco-friendly environment. You guys, who told you that we have global warming? Who told you about global warming? My guys, tell me. History of global warming kutoka the time we started hearing about global warming. Saizi hatungekuwa tumekufa sisi wote. You know, they keep on telling us that there is a drought because of global warming. While we know these things are engineered by them, why are we having hurricanes in Africa? Why are we having flooding and at the same time we are having drought in the same Africa? You guys, don't you see what is happening? Niulize, you guys, mi nataka tu nijue. Imagine if we made Kenya, let's talk about Kenya. If we now decided we are all using electrical cars. Unakumbuka, there was on Saturday last week, but one we had a power outage that went to the whole country. So tell me, the industry would have stopped. The whole country, everything, the matatu industry, the transportation industry would have stopped just because we're using electrical cars and we don't have any place to recharge them. Don't you see that this is a very big scam? You guys, don't you see that it is very expensive even to operate that electrical car? You guys, it is very expensive even to run an electrical motorbike. And this is the lies they are bringing to Africans, because Africans, we have not been taught how. We have not been taught how to run our economies. We have not been taught how to create good eco-friendly environment. But now they come up with their lies. They decide, leo tunaenda kuambia hivi. Leo tunaenda kuambia hivi. Kesho tunatoa gari za sijui nini. Juzi niliona your president saying that we are gonna even manufacture our own phones. This man, my African people, we better wake up and realize the damage they are causing, the damage they are about to do to Africa. But I see Odele is saying the West Africa are showing us the way. Yes, and we need to learn from them. We need to take that power we have in our hands and overthrow these governments before they take us to hell. Before they start banning us like this while we are alive. Because this is what is going to happen. I see General Mosquito is saying eco-friendly environment, it is all a big scam. Yes, this is what I'm telling my people. They are talking about eco-friendly environment at the electric cars. My people, this is a big lie we are being taught. This is a very big lie that we are being lied to. Tunadanganywa ati electric motorbikes. Who told you that you can run a country with windmills? Niambieni tu ukweli, because you guys, niambieni tu ukweli. Ati eco-friendly, tunataka tufanye upepo ikuwe ina run the whole country. Supply electricity with the wind. Does that even make sense? How can you run a whole country with the wind turbines? Does that make sense? Windmills. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't. It doesn't. And by the time we are realizing all this, imagine we shall be in the dark. Tunaanza mashida za like a country like Zimbabwe, a country like South Africa, the load shedding, power cuts all the time. Yeah? I told you a country like Zambia has to face 12 hours of power cuts each day. Every day of their life, they know Masaya stima kupotea imeshafika. But we as African people, we are yet ready for that nonsense right here because I see we are buying it. Imagine tunataka kurudishwa enzi gani? Enzi zenye hatukuwa na stima. Hizo ndio enzi tunataka kurudishwa. Imagine msetu amekuja tu like a person has come right here. He has just thought of how they would scam you and tell you we can run our country by using only wind. And you know, wind is very natural. It is very eco-friendly. It doesn't cause pollution. You know, you see these electric motorbikes, they don't cause pollution because they don't produce that soot. That is what's madness, lies. My people, just wake up, realize what is happening. And you know, it is just crazy to see that he barred Kenyans from entering that summit. Imagine you woke up very early, you even had an invitation, but when you get there, you queue for hours, and they wait for you to queue for hours. And after long hours of waiting, you're told you're not on the list. Go back home and sleep. You stupid Kenyan. You stupid Kenyan. Go back home and sleep. Where did you think you are going? You're not coming to sit with the Chinese, with our guests from China. You're not coming to sit with our guests from India. Tell me what you think about that. Because I feel like if we don't realize what is happening, by the time we are realizing, we are all in darkness. We are all in darkness. tumezoea sasa, tutakuwa tumeshazoea kukaa nchi haina stima. This is what is happening. If you have not seen the problem of load shedding in South Africa, in Zambia, in Zimbabwe, you guys, you need to find out what is happening to those countries and see the damage of that climate change hoax, that lie you're being told, that lie you're being told about eco-friendly systems or eco-friendly environment that is going to make sure that now everything is electrical. Tell me, size tokens when you kai. Yeah? Tokens, they don't even tokens, that's all. How many are they? 4 tokens. 4 units, I mean. So 4 units is supposed to charge a car, a motorbike, my phone, also to make sure that there's electricity in my house that I'm seeing. There's power in my house. Just tell me if that makes sense to you. So how many units will you need a day to charge a car, to charge a motorbike, to charge your phone, to have lights in your house? Just tell me. You know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And if you are in support of this madness, kitakuramba pia wewe. Kitakuramba, because you'll face the consequences of what you're okaying. Yes, you'll suffer the consequences of what you're okaying, because this is just madness, pure madness. We are seeing this happening while we are watching. Sijui, your president is riding a electric motorbike. Today he went to the KICC riding an electric car, which had a weird shape. Guys, did you see that? Oh my God, that is the ugliest car I've seen today. It is super ugly, has a weird shape. Tell me where we have such cars. Tell me, you know, that model seems like people were trying to make a car, and then it came out just, I don't know, it came out like something could be driven, but it is not a car. It is some weird shit. I guess I should show you an image of what I'm talking about, because it is weird. And tell me, how is that even a car? I mean, look, electric car. That's Ruto Road. Okay, I see. It looks weird. I mean, very weird. I'm wondering, ini gari ama ni nini hii? Was this supposed to be a car? Yani, they sat down, they said that we are making a car like this one, and your president is even very happy and not even ashamed of what madness is bringing to your country. Let me share my screen, my people, in case you want to see this weird thing we are calling electric car. Let me share this. You guys tell me, what type of car is this? Because it looks like a tuk-tuk to me. Look at this, it looks like a toy. This is what now our president is bringing us. And you see this other one? This one is called Mobius. You know, this car came to Africa long time ago. People bought it. People are very happy to have electric cars in Kenya, in Africa. But you know what? After 3 months, they were already tired with this. I can show you somewhere they are dumped, so many of them, because people are tired of recharging. Of course, it is very expensive. They are tired of how this car operates. Look at your shameless president. Let me show you. Let me show you this real quick. At riding that weird thing he's calling a car. So look at the front of this thing. What is this? What is this? What model is this? So this is how we're gonna, it's like he's taking us back in the days where people were starting to be creative and starting to learn models of cars. Yeah? That is the madness he's taking us to. And he's calling that a car. He's calling it a car. Imagine he's calling that a car. You guys, General Mosquito, did you see that thing? So tell me, how is that a car? It looks like a toy to me. It looks like a pure joke to me. At the electric car. That shit is weird. It's ugly. You don't even want to ride that going to the market. It's ugly. I don't even want to be seen riding such stupid thing. It's super ugly. Mambo dig down, karibu sana. Hey, and General Mosquito is saying that's a smart car. I've had one before years ago. I didn't know whether to drive or to push it. Exactly. You don't even know whether to drive it or push it. General Mosquito. You don't even know who is carrying the other. You carry it like this, you go with it, or it carries you. You know, this man is taking us back to poverty, but we cannot see. Now he wants Kenyans to have those weird things, those weird toy cars in Kenya and be proud of them. That doesn't make sense to me. Hey, that shit is ugly. I don't want to ride that thing even when I'm going to the market. I'd rather ride a bajaji. No, this is a bajaji. But my guys, my people, my African people, we better wake up. We better, because you can see the damage already. You are seeing the damage already. If now we are going back to those two things and calling them cars, we can see the damage. You already see the damage. Yani tumtu. Yeah, hey, I'm even guy. How many days is he going to ride that? And of course, he's never going to ride that shit again. He's not. He's not. General Mosquito is asking, are those electric cars made in Kenya or in Asia? Of course, they are not made in Kenya. Let me get the information real quick for you. Let me get it real quick for you, because they are not made in Kenya. I know Kenyans are very creative. They wouldn't make such an ugly car. I'm even looking for. Imagine I'm searching for ugly car. Let me just look where. Actually. Hey, I'm telling you, our president, this puppet, he is never disappointing the Europeans. He's a fully 100% puppet. He's not disappointing even a minute. He's very willing to work for these Europeans. Willingly. Well, they are made from China. And of course, you know why? They are made from China. And the Chinese are the ones pushing this agenda of climate change. So it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. Those weird Chinese electric cars are being dumped in Kenya right now as we're talking. It totally makes sense. But that thing is ugly. I'm telling you, I don't want to ride that thing even when I'm going to the market. But what I'm saying is that African people, we need to wake up. We need to wake up before the damage is too gone. Before the damage is too deep. Because what we are seeing right now is just an example of what is going to happen in the next few years. We are going to be put back in the days where we didn't have electricity in our homes. We are going to be told it is normal for you to have power cuts for 12 hours a day. This is what is happening. And in case you don't know how Zambia was overtaken by the Chinese and right now is facing these problems of load shedding, I think the same thing is about to happen to Kenya. But my people, we better wake up, overthrow this puppet before it is too gone, before it is too much. But I see General Scooter is saying, I knew it was made in China. It had to be. Why do you think the Chinese are so hard on the climate change thing, summits? Why? It's because they want to come and dump their stupid, weird cars in Africa. Stupid, ugly cars in Africa. And call them electric cars, which are very expensive for you to have. Also very expensive for you to run, to maintain. Imagine you have to go every day to I don't know if we are going to be calling them gas stations, petrol stations. I think we shall be calling them charging stations. Yeah? You have to take your car to be charged. And you have not seen these things. So it means that now the petrol stations have to be advanced to these charging things. We have now to even put up money to build the recharging things for these cars. It is just crazy. It is crazy, but if you think that this electrical way is the way forward, man, my people, you are damaged in your head. But anyway, family, I think that is where we shall wrap up our show for today. African people, stay away from European countries. African people, learn to fix your countries. Stop running from your problems, going to other problems, to the worst problems. Learn to fix your countries here in Africa. Stop saying you're going for greener pastures in places you not wanted, in places you hated. They don't want to see your blackness there, your black face. They don't want to see you there. So stay in Africa, learn to fix your problems, and that is the solution. Also, on these electric things, on this eco-friendly environment, I totally rebuke it. And my people, we better say no together, because we are going to cry together. If we don't say no, we are going to cry together. But anyway, family, asanteni sana for joining us on today's episode. Thank you, General Mosquito, Sister Michelle, to the rest of the silent listeners. I can see you, so many of you in the building. Thank you, Cantona Piawewe, and to all those who are with us on today's episode of the African Diary Show. I hope you've learned something. I hope you have enjoyed our conversation right here. And also, asanteni sana to all those who are with us on the radio station. Much love. Remember to join us on the next episode of the Rhythm Scoop Show.
Greetings and salutations, Massive. Here's Andrew Robinson, all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. That's it.
My intelligence, then I make the sparks fly like electrician. Like half traffic, great panicking, freeze up like mannequin. As you come manage when pellets them traveling. Tell a pussy we laugh, we no take that. Really people are dead that.